Yo, what's up everyone? John here with WebDev for you, here to help you build beautiful websites without code in Webflow. Today we're going to go over the Brandon Walker Webflow portfolio template found at webdevforyou.com. So I have the template here, so I'll quickly showcase it. So here if I click refresh, we can see we have this nice animation at the beginning. Then as we go through the template, we can see that each project has a nice animation. So this can be a great template for any type of creative, whether you're a web designer, photographer, or an illustrator. You can showcase your work in a really unique way with this template. So as we go through, we see the image kind of has a panel reveal effect. The title comes in and the paragraph comes in. And each project has a nice button here that can link out to an internal page, external page, or even a video within a Lightbox right within the website. And I'll showcase how to add the Lightbox in this video tutorial. Alright, looks good. So we have some nice animation, looks really slick, and it can be a great way for users to see different projects on your site. And then right over here to the right, we have a menu where the user can navigate to the different projects by clicking on this menu. So it's a nice one-page template. Very easy to use, very easy to customize. So in this tutorial, I'm going to go over the different aspects of the template. We're going to completely customize it, change the colors, change the images, so you can see how to work with the template. I'll also be going over the responsive design of the template. All right, looks good. So that is the Brandon Walker Webflow portfolio template. It can be found at webdevforyou.com. And I'll scroll down here to templates. We have the Brandon Walker portfolio template. So here on the template page, it kind of goes over all the different aspects of the template. You can watch different videos from the Webflow University on the different aspects of using Webflow to better work with the template as well. So here you can preview the template, you can preview in the Webflow Designer, and you can view the documentation in the for the template. A lot of what I'm going to cover in this video tutorial is in the documentation. So that's the Brandon Walker Webflow portfolio template. The next thing I'll go over is the responsive design of the template. Okay, so here I have the template in Sizzy. Sizzy is an application that I use to check the responsiveness of a template across different devices. So here it is on desktop. So we have that nice animation. I've already showcased it here on desktop. But looks good here. We'll take a look at the iPad Pro 12.9 inch, and nice, looks great. Let me just change the link here so it doesn't go to the section. So we have this nice animation at the beginning. The images are just a bit less in width, a bit smaller in width to fit this particular device. Nice. Looks good, and I can change the orientation. So this is what it looks like on the iPad Pro, kind of in the landscape orientation. Nice. And then we have the Galaxy S10. So yeah, I'll go to the Galaxy S10. Looks good. The images are just a bit smaller in width, and the text is a bit smaller to fit these smaller devices. But all the animations, they come in, and it looks really nice. The button is still nice and large, so the user can click and go to that specific project. So you can create internal pages within Webflow and link these different projects to those internal pages within Webflow. All right, looks good. And then we have the Pixel 3. Nice. We have the nice animation. Looks good. And the iPhone 11 Pro. All right, looks good. So it looks similar on the mobile devices. The images are just a bit smaller in width and the text is a bit smaller. Okay, so that is the template in Sizzy across multiple devices. We can see that it's fully responsive. So it looks good on all devices. So let's take a quick look at the template in Webflow. So here I'll open up the template here in Webflow. And here in Webflow, we have 4 different layouts. We have the desktop layout, the tablet, and the mobile landscape, and mobile portrait. So all the content and all the styling for the template can be changed on each layout. Changes and styles within Webflow cascade down rather than up. So here, if I make a change to desktop, it'll be applied to tablet. If tablet doesn't have its own specific styling, it'll cascade down to tablet. And if I make any changes to tablet, the changes will be applied to mobile landscape and mobile portrait. So any changes I make to tablet won't cascade up to desktop. So styles cascade down within Webflow. Webflow recently released the option for larger breakpoints, and those do cascade up. So if you did want to add larger breakpoints for really large screens like an iMac 27-inch, you could add these larger breakpoints here and adjust the styling of the site. So you can make the fonts larger and change, pretty much the layout or the styling for that specific breakpoint on larger devices. All right, so that is the responsiveness of the template. The next thing I'm going to cover is customizing the template. So this is going to be the longer portion of this video tutorial because we're going to completely change all the colors for the template. We're going to change all the images, and I'm going to showcase how to add new projects to the template. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to cover is the entire structure of the template. So here I'll open up the Navigator. So we have the Navigator here on the left. And the first thing we notice is this HTML embed. So we have the HTML embed, the hero section, and these project wrappers, and the footer section here at the bottom. So I'll go ahead and cover the HTML embed here at the top. This is a custom code element. So here if I open up the element settings, we can see that it's applying a text decoration to the about detail and the project detail. So it's an underline with a color. This is all code here. And what this code does is it applies this yellow underline underneath the text here. So we could do this in Webflow under typography. It does have a decoration option of underline, but it doesn't give us the options to change the color. And also this particular underline fits right underneath the text, so it's a little bit too close to the text. With the custom code, we're able to ensure that that underline goes under the text, and we can set a specific color for that underline. So if we want to change the color of that underline to the paragraph text, we would change it here, and I'll showcase that in a second. All right, so that's the HTML embed. It just changes the underline of the text. Next, we have the hero section, so I'll go ahead and open it up. And we have the hero content wrapper. So this is where we have the header, we have the title and the paragraph here, and the about content wrapper there. So that's where these elements live. It's in the hero content wrapper. Then we have the grid. The grid is just for the styling in the background. So those different panels, those have been added via grid. So if I select the grid and here in the styles panel, I select edit grid, we can see we have those different panels, and it's just a styling element behind all of the other elements within the site. Okay, looks good. Then we have the yellow block, which is this yellow block here on the left. We can change the color of that. We have the about image. So if I open this up, the about image has an overlay inside of it, and this overlay is what's creating that reveal effect. So if I preview, we can see we have these panels reveal, and that's because we have this overlay here. So if I hide this overlay, select it, and set the display setting to hide, we can see the image behind it. And this image is in the about image element, and it's a background image here. So we're going to change that as well. All right, so I'll bring back the overlay, set it to display block to have that effect occur. Then we have the scroll indicator wrapper, which is here on the right. And in the scroll indicator wrapper, we have kind of links to the different sections of the template. So this is kind of like a menu. So we have the scroll inner wrapper, and then inside of the scroll inner wrapper, we have the text, and we have the scroll indicator. So the way that the menu works is when we click on a specific link to go to a section, we apply a current state to that link, which changes the width and the color of that specific menu line. And I'll cover that in a bit more detail. So here, if we click on a menu item, we can see that the color of the line turns yellow, the project number appears, and the width of the line becomes larger. So I'll cover how to kind of change this, or how to add another project and how to add another menu line here so we can link to that new project. All right, cool. So that's kind of like the hero section. The next thing I'll cover is the project wrapper. So each project wrapper is a new project. So if I open this up, we have the project image, and we can see that the project image has an overlay, which is the white color here, and that's how we create that reveal effect. So when I preview, we can see that that panel is moving from the left to the right 100%, and we have that reveal on scroll. So it's just a nice effect. If we were to hide this image overlay, again, we would see this background image, which is applied to the project image here. And if we go to backgrounds, we can change this image here. Nice. So we'll do that in a second. I'll bring back the overlay. Nice. And yeah, and then in the project wrapper, we have the project type, which is this text here, the heading, the H2 heading, the project detail, and the project link wrapper. And in the project link wrapper, we have the arrow icon and the circle there. And in the arrow icon wrapper, we have the arrow line and the arrow icon. And there's also an interaction applied to this, so when we hover, the arrow line becomes a bit smaller. Nice, looks good. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 different projects and the footer section. So in the footer section, we have the footer wrapper and just some text, a link, and the footer block here at the bottom. Cool, so that's the structure of the site. It's pretty straightforward, and we can customize everything within the template. So let's go ahead and change the color of the template, change the images, and yeah, just have fun with customizing the template. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is rename this here, or actually I'm going to change the hero image. So right now it's a picture of this guy here. So I'll go ahead and change that. I'm going to add some new images. So I'm going to select these ones and click, hold, and drag and place into the assets panel. And we're going to go for more of a purple theme for the template. All right, looks good and awesome. So for these images, these are Unsplash images, and I ran them through Shape Factory, which allows us to apply a duotone to these images here. And I'll leave a link to Shape Factory in the links section below. All right, cool. So we have the images. So the first thing I'm going to do is replace the creator for the template. So I'm going to select the about image. I'm going to hide the about overlay for a moment, select the about image, and go to backgrounds here, click choose image, and I'll select this image here. Nice. So we have female designer here in this case. So we're going to go ahead and change the name. We're going to say I'm Julia, a web designer based in California. Cool. So just like that, we've changed the name and the text here, and we could change this text here as well. So I'll bring back the about overlay, select it, because if we preview now, we'll see that the effect doesn't occur because the overlay isn't there. So I'll go ahead and select the about overlay, set the display setting to block, and nice, cool. So just like that, we've changed the image. Now let's change the yellow block here to be more of a purple color. So within the template, we're using global swatches, and if we go to the style guide, there's a style guide included within the template, and it showcases all the colors used in the template, along with what elements are using each color. So I can go back to the home page. I can select this yellow block right in here and go down to the color and select the color here. So we note that it's a global swatch because it has a little triangle in the lower right hand corner. So here, if I select it, this global swatch is the gold with opacity of 15%. So I'll select it here, and we can see that the global swatch is collected. Here are all the colors that are being used in the template. So I can select this global swatch, click the pencil icon to edit the swatch, and I'll grab this purple color here from the duotone website. And I'll paste it in the hex section right in here. And the opacity was 15%, or the alpha. Those two are kind of synonymous. The alpha was 15%. So before changing the color, so let me just cancel and kind of show that again. So I'll edit. we can see the alpha is 15%. So before changing the color, you just want to kind of remember the alpha here to kind of match the style of the site initially. So I'll paste in that color, and then I'll change the alpha to 15. Nice. Cool, so just like that. Oh, I didn't save the swatch, so let's try that again. Click here, edit swatch, paste in that color, and I'll say 15 for the alpha. And then remember to click save, and nice. So now I'll preview. Looks good, so it's becoming more purple, and awesome. So let's go ahead and change the color for these underlines. So for this, I'm gonna go into the HTML embed, go into the element settings, and just paste in this new hex color right in there for the text decoration. Save and close, and we can now see that the underline is purple here, and purple for all the paragraph text within the site. Looks good. And this logo text also has an underline. So let me go down to borders. These underlines are not being applied via the underline code. Simply a border is being applied to the text element. So we can go down to borders, select the bottom border here. We can see the color is being applied, so I'll select it, and it has an alpha of 50, and I'll go ahead and paste in that purple color and change the alpha back to 50. Cool, so now it has a purple underline. I'll do the same for this contact link text. Select the color, paste in the purple color, and change the alpha to 50. Looks good, awesome. So we can do the same here for this yellow scroll indicator. So I'll select it. It's using the gold with opacity of 40% global swatch. So I'll select it, edit the global swatch, and paste the new color in there, and set the alpha to 40% and save. Nice. So all the color has been changed for the hero section. I can go ahead and preview. And just like that, we've completely customized all the colors for the template. We've changed the image and the text here for the title. And it'll apply to all of the layouts as well. Cool. And I might just change the, let's see here. Yeah, let me go back into the desktop. I'll just change this to Julia Walker. Cool, instead of Brandon Walker. All right, nice. So that looks good. The next thing we're gonna do is edit each project. So I'll go into the project wrapper. I wanna swap out each image because right now all the images are yellow. They don't really match the style of the site. So I'll go ahead and select the project image, go into the image overlay, and hide the image overlay. So if we go through, so right now this is the project image, and if I go to the second image, there's project image with a combo class of 2. And if I go to each consecutive image, the combo class increases. So with each new project image, we have to add a unique combo class so that we can make sure that that we can add a different project image. Otherwise, if, for instance, if I were to remove this combo class of 3, it would turn into the image for this project image. So we can see this first one and this third one are the same, but as soon as I add a combo class of 3, it turns into that specific image that we applied for this combo class. Nice. So let's go ahead and swap out all the images, and I'm just kind of referencing that. So when we add a new project wrapper, we'll give it a unique combo class to the image, and we can add a new image for that project. Okay, cool. So project image, let's go ahead and replace it. Nice. So I'll select this image here, go to the next one, select the background, choose image. Let's select this one here, go to this one, choose image, and I'll select this one here, and this fourth one, choose image, select this one here, the fifth one, we'll do this image, and this one here, we'll do this image. Awesome. So looks good. We've swapped out all the images. So I'll go ahead and bring back the image overlay, set the display setting back to block, and now we can see that that white overlay is blocking the images, but now we can see that we're matching that purple theme for the template. Nice. So the last thing we need to do is change the color for these yellow circles. So there's a nice hover effect when we hover over these buttons. So let's go ahead and change that color as well. So I'll go ahead and click in the project link wrapper, open the project link wrapper, and we have the circle here. So if I go down to the color, so right now the color for the circle is the golden color, so I'll select it. It is using a global swatch, so I'll edit it, and I'll paste, I'll paste the new color in here. It has an alpha of 50, so I'll go ahead and turn it back to 50 and save. Nice, so we can see in the global swatches that we've replaced all the gold colors with the purple color. So the template now has a purple theme and it looks good. So one thing we'll note, the yellow circle is still in place, and that's because this yellow color has been applied via an interaction. So I'm going to go and close this here. I'm going to go to, first I'm going to select the project link wrapper. We see it has an interaction applied because of this lightning bolt symbol. So here I'll go to interactions, click on the mouse hover interaction, and click on the project link on hover interaction here. So initially, if we click on the circle, the border color is this yellow color here, or the gold color. So I'll select it. It has an alpha of 50. Here I'll just paste in the purple hex color and change the alpha to 50. And then here the color turns to a gray color. I'm okay with that. And then on hover out, we want to make sure it goes back to the purple color. So here I'll select the color, paste in the hex color, and give it the alpha of 50. I could also select a global swatch here, so I can select this one, and nice. I'll do the same for the hover in. That way, if we change the global swatch, it'll be easy to change the color for the interaction as well. All right, so now we can see it's purple, and it turns to that gray color on hover, and back to purple on hover out. Looks good. So we've customized all the colors within the template, and it matches, or it goes through to mobile as well and tablet. Awesome. So that is how we customize the template. Now let's add a new project and add a new menu item here as well. So to add a new project, it's fairly simple. Let me collapse all these menu items. To add a new project, we'll select the last project wrapper, hit Command T to copy, and Command V to paste. So now we have 7 projects. I can go ahead and change all the text. New project number 7, and this is the text for the new project. Nice. All right, that looks good. So awesome. Let me preview, and we can see we have new project 7, and we have the link here and the text. So let's go ahead and replace the image. So I'll select the image overlay, set the display setting to none, select the image here. We can see it has a combo class of 6. So it has the same image as the 6th project. So I just want to remove this combo class, click the drop down arrow, say remove class, and add a new combo class of 7. We can see it initially inherited the image from the project image without a combo class. So I'm going to give it a combo class of 7, go into the background, choose image, and I'll select a new image here. Let's do actually choose image. Let's do this one up here, and I can change the positioning of the image there. Nice. So now project number 7 has a unique image and looks good. So we do need to remember to add that combo class, otherwise it'll inherit images from other classes. So let's go ahead and bring back the overlay, display block, and nice. Cool. So let's go ahead and add a new link here. So we want to click on the scroll in a wrapper, and here we want to hit Command C to copy and Command V to paste. And now for this scroll in a wrapper, we have the scroll text and the scroll indicator. I want to select the scroll text, and I want to set the opacity to 100% so we can see it. And here I'm going to change the project number to project 7. And then I'll go ahead and set the opacity back to 0%. Cool, so initially we can't see that text, but when it becomes the current state, when we go to that specific section, the text shows. Cool. So we can see for this about scroll inner wrapper, if we select the text, it's set to current because we're currently viewing that particular section within the site. Nice. So one thing we kind of missed, so in order to link that specific line and that text to a project, we have to add an ID to the project. So I'll scroll down to project number 7, to the last project wrapper, and then go to element settings, and we can see it has an ID 6, so we want to say project 7. So each project has an ID, so project 1 through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now 7. And these IDs let us link those line menu items to these sections. So now that I've given it an ID, I can scroll back to the top, or actually I can just select the 7th scroll inner wrapper, select the scroll text because it's a link, and I can link it to a section. Right now it's linked to project 6. I want to link it to project 7. So now it appears here because we gave that new project the ID project 7. And the same for the scroll indicator, it's a link, so I'm going to link it to project 7. Nice. So now when I preview, and I'll scroll back up, and I click on the 7th line, it brings us to project number 7. So just like that, we've added a new project. We can we can change all the text. We can change the project name, the paragraph, and all the colors are changed here as well. Cool. So we've done a lot with the template already. We've added a new project. We've changed the colors, all within a few minutes. So you can really see how customizable the template is and how quickly you can get started with adding your own projects. All right, so the last thing I'll cover is how to add a lightbox. How to link to a lightbox. So that'll be the next section. We're going to, rather than link to an internal page or external page, we're going to link to a YouTube video within a lightbox, so the video opens right within the website. So I'll go ahead and do it for this project number 7. So if we did want to link to an internal or external page, we could just select the project link wrapper, and in the element settings, we can link to a URL, a page section, email, telephone number, or a file. But here I want to link it to a lightbox, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the project link wrapper, and inside of the project link wrapper, I'm going to add an element, and I'm going to add a lightbox here. So we're going to get an error initially, so if I click, we get this error, lightbox link cannot be placed in a link, and that's because the project link wrapper is a link, so we can't place a lightbox link in another link. So we have to convert this project link wrapper into a div block, and in Webflow we can do that easily by selecting the project link wrapper, right clicking, and saying convert to div block. Alright, so now it's no longer a link block, so now I can place a lightbox link inside of this project link wrapper. So I'll add an element, I'll add a lightbox, and nice. So initially the lightbox comes with an image inside of it, so I can just click and delete this image. So now we just have the lightbox link. In the Navigator, I'll place it at the top, right below the project link wrapper, and then I'll place the arrow icon wrapper inside of the lightbox link, and I'll place the circle inside of here as well. So we can see it's not aligned because for the lightbox link, we have to go to the styles panel and give it a flex setting of flex, align center, and justify start. Those are the same settings that have been applied to the project link wrapper here. All right, cool. So I'll select the lightbox link. We see that there's a blue underline here for the arrow. So I just want to select the lightbox link, and for the text decoration, set it to none. Cool. So now it looks just like it did before, but now we have a lightbox link that we can connect to a YouTube video. Nice. So with the lightbox link selected, I'll go to element settings, and here I'll link it to a media, so we can link to an image or a Vimeo or YouTube video. So I'll click add video, and I have a YouTube video link right here. I'll copy it and paste and save. Then I'll preview, and if I click on the link, it opens up the Lightbox. Nice. Cool. And just like that, I can watch a video right on the site and showcase a project. Cool. Yeah, so that's how we link to a Lightbox element. For all the other links, you can link to a URL or internal or external page. I could also change the Lightbox link from a video to an image, so I can select an image, choose the image, and select the image that I'm showcasing. So I'll click save. We can see that it reveals this image here, and if I click, it shows the image larger. Yeah, there we go. It shows the image larger, and I can even add a caption here, so I can say project number 7 and save. So now I'll go ahead and open it, and we have the caption project number 7. Cool, so we can add images or videos within a Lightbox for each project, and that way the user doesn't navigate away from the page, and you're able to kind of give more content within the site. Awesome, so that's pretty much it for the template. All these elements do get applied to all the layouts. So we can see the Lightbox opens on mobile as well, and it looks good. So yeah, just like that, within a few minutes, we've completely customized the template. We've added a video, and yeah, we've added new images, and awesome. So the next thing I'll cover is interactions and what elements are using what specific interactions. So here, if I go back to the site, the interactions that are applied to the site, so let me collapse the navigator here. If we go to interactions, we initially have the page load animation, which is the animation you see with the panels kind of revealing the background image. And that's this page load animation here. We can play it and just see how it looks. Nice. So you can go through each interaction and just kind of see how it's set up. You can change the timing, the easing to kind of match the feel that you're going for your site. And we have the grid here as well, and awesome. So that's the first interaction that we see, and the project image has an interaction. So it has a scroll into view interaction. So when we get to that image, the panel kind of reveals. So if I open it, it says project image scroll animation. So basically we're just moving that panel from 0%, and then we move it to the right 100%, and the project image element has an overflow of hidden, so we can't see that panel when it goes outside of the project image element here. Cool. And then we have the project content, which also has a scroll into view interaction, and it just moves up the headings, the text, and just creates a nice smooth interaction when those elements come into view. So if I play it, we can see it just has kind of like a shifting up interaction, and the opacity, the elements come into view. So initially it has an opacity of 0, and then those elements come into view. Nice. So that's the interaction here. You can go through and kind of take a look at what elements are being affected and change the easing and the timing for all of these animations. Looks good. So yeah, that's basically it. Then we have this hover interaction here for the project link wrapper, and I kind of went over that when we changed the color, and it's the project link on hover. Basically we're changing the color of the circle, and we're changing the width of this arrow line here. And then on hover out, the arrow line goes back to its original size, and the color of the circle changes back to the color that we set, which is purple here. All right, cool. So those are all the interactions. Within the template page, I do leave a link to working with interactions in Webflow. If you're not familiar with working with interactions, Webflow has a great course in the university on working with interactions. And also most of my earlier videos are working with interactions as well. And you can get a lot of practice with watching those videos and kind of seeing how interactions work. All right, nice. So that is it for interactions. We have the hero section that has like a page load interaction, and each project has interactions applied to the image and the content. And then for the scroll indicator, it looks like an interaction, but it's just we're applying different states to the text and this line. So when we're on the current state for the specific project, the text here becomes an opacity of 100%. So initially it's at 0% for the other projects, and when it becomes the current here, the current state, the text comes into an opacity of 100%, and this line, excuse me, this line changes width to 40. So it goes from 25 to 40, and we change the background color of the line. So that's how we achieve that effect. We're simply affecting the current state for the lines and the text here. Nice. Looks good. So that is interactions. Nice. So the next thing I'll cover is the style guide and documentation. So I kind of already went over this, but if we open the pages, we have the style guide here. And here we have, what text is being used for the headings. For heading 1, it's PT Serif with a font weight of 700. And for heading 2, it's using Georgia and a font weight of 700 here. We also have some paragraph styles. So yeah, if we were to go into the global selector for the H1 headings, they would have this specific styling applied. So if you were to create a new H1 heading, so if I were to go ahead and let's see here, if I were to add a heading, and we can see it's an H1 heading, it would be that particular styling that's in the style guide, because we're applying it to the global selector, which is the all H1 headings here. Looks good. So yeah, Webflow has a great video on kind of global selectors, or yeah, there's more information in the Webflow University on global selectors. So using global selectors, we can easily kind of style an entire page without having to apply multiple classes. Nice. So I'll go ahead and delete that, and it looks good. Yeah, so if a heading doesn't have a particular class applied to it or its own styling, it'll just use the global selector styling. Nice. So I'll scroll down. We have some text styling here as well, some text blocks. And then we have the color usage here. It's kind of what I mentioned with the global swatches. Here, it lets you know what elements are using what colors. And yeah, here you can easily change the color to change the entire theme or the entire look of the template. So for instance, if I select this purple color here, which is being applied to the yellow block, and I select it, we can see it's a global swatch. I can edit the swatch and make it more of like a pink color here, save it, and now when I go to the home page, we can see that that color is a bit more pink there. Nice, and it still looks good. It still matches the purple because they're kind of similar in hue. So we get a nice kind of combination of colors there. Yeah, so we can easily change the colors of the template within the global swatches here, and we can see it applied to the template right away. Cool, so that's the style guide. Next I'll cover the image licenses. Yeah, we're using most of the images within the template are from Unsplash and looks good. And the icons are from Font Awesome. And we have a password page. It's been styled here. Right now it's using that gold color because that's the initial color of the template, but this can be customized as well. This entire page, yeah, can be customized. And the 404 page can be customized as well to match the color and theme of your template. So this page will show if the user lands on a page that doesn't exist, this 404 page will show. So we can see it says looks like you got lost, or or we're trying to confuse you. Let us bring you back to the home page. All right, cool. So that's the style guide and global swatches. The next thing I'll cover is search engine optimization. So yeah, search engine optimization within Webflow is fairly straightforward. We'll click on the Pages panel, go to the home page, and here to change the title and description, we'll just change it here within the title tag. So I can say, yeah, Brandon Walker Webflow portfolio template, and I can say awesome Webflow template to help you get started quickly in Webflow. Nice. So this is how this site would look within the search engine. So we just added a title and description, and nice. So that's all we have to do there. And let me change the name there. Awesome. And we can also add open graph title and description for things like Facebook and LinkedIn. This is the content that would appear for those platforms. And we can add an open graph image URL, so we get a nice, excuse me, a nice image when we're showing the image on Facebook or LinkedIn. So it's recommended that the image be 1200 pixels by 630. So what you can do is upload an asset to Webflow, and then here, let me save the changes. Upload an asset, and then view the asset here by selecting the asset details, and then clicking on this little icon here. It'll open the image within the browser. Then you can copy this link within the URL, go back to the home page, go to the open graph image, and paste that link right in there. And we can see that that's how it'll look in Facebook. And I could, use the same SEO title that I used for the title and description here. Nice. So that question does come up every so often, like how do I get the site to look good in Facebook? That's all done through the open graph settings here. Looks good. Yeah, so if we had site search, we could also exclude this page from the site search results, and we could also add some custom code here within the head section and before the body tag. Webflow doesn't validate custom code, so you'll want to make sure that the code you enter in here is correct. All right, cool. So that is search engine optimization. The next thing I'll cover is the documentation for the site. So to view the documentation for the site, we can just go to the template page here, and we can click on view documentation. So everything I've covered within this tutorial is also in the documentation. So we have it here, and I'll go ahead and scroll. Yeah, so if I scroll down, we have the typography, the theme information. We have what's included. So with the template, when you download the zip file, you'll also get this documentation along with all the images and assets and different icons used for the template. Cool. We have the typography that's used in the template, and the color usage, which is in the style guide as well. And we have how to change the author about image and the project images, which I covered in this tutorial, and how to add new projects. So here it goes over the combo class for each project image, and also adding the ID and linking the scroll text and the scroll indicator to this ID for the new project. Nice. Looks good. Yeah, so everything I've covered is here in the documentation to help you get started quickly. Cool. So this documentation can be viewed prior to purchasing, so you can get a feel for how to use the template and feel confident that you'll be able to quickly customize the template when it's purchased. All right, cool. So that's the documentation. The next thing I'll cover is support. So if you need help or support with the template as you're working with it, feel free to email me at templates@webdevforyou.com, and I'll be happy to help. You can also take a look at the documentation. It covers a lot of the different aspects of the template and working with the template. But yeah, if there's something that's not clear, definitely feel free to reach out to me at templates@webdevforyou.com, and I'll be happy to help with the template. All right, so that is it for the template tutorial. I think I've covered everything. There is kind of a glossary at the bottom where you can click through the different kind of sections of the tutorial to see specific topics that I've covered within the template. Cool, so that is the Brandon Walker Webflow portfolio template. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tutorial. Thank you.